Happy holidays from One Mind Syndicate. I am your host Gersh1, and today we're going to be talking about the Death Watch. As in the last 40Facts video, this is also a longer compilation lore video that is created for the purpose of you guys painting, building, sculpting, doing whatever it is that you need to do in order to bring down that pile of shame that's been sitting there the entire year. So hopefully this small little holiday vacation is a good time for you guys to work on that pile of shame. And these videos, again, hopefully will help. This one is going to be about the Death Watch. I'm giving you guys my favorite lore that we created for the Death Watch this entire year. So we're going to be talking about specific units and specific characters and Death Watch fortresses. So hopefully this helps. I am working on longer videos. I know that some of you guys requested longer videos because, obviously like 20 minutes is not that much time to paint. And yes, those are coming probably towards the end of the week. But for right now, let's get into the Death Watch lore, starting with the Death Watch Commander. The Watch Commander's role is somewhat similar to a chapter master and a captain of a Space Marine chapter. The big difference is that each fortress has its own Death Watch Watchmaster, and the battle brothers under their command are a lot fewer. A watch commander acts with authority as he sees fit, according to his own counsel and judgment, unanswerable to no one except his fellow watch commanders, the Inquisition, and the Emperor of Mankind himself. They are amongst the most experienced Space Marine Xenofighters in the entire galaxy. Prior to their assignment to the Death Watch, a watch commander is likely to have progressed to the rank of a captain, and some have even served as chapter masters of their parent chapter. The role of a watch commander, like any other position in the Death Watch, is in theory only a temporary one. However, most of the Astartes who take up this position do so with the knowledge that they will never return to their chapter again. Such a vital and heavy burden is this rank. As such, the duty is a lonely one, for the watch commander sees countless battle brothers serve under him and return to their own chapter, and he knows that in all likelihood he will never do so again. The process by which an individual is elevated to the rank of a watchmaster varies from case to case, but most have first served as a watch captain. The promotion may come about by default, as the previous incumbent is killed in the line of duty, and the most senior watch captain under his command simply takes over. Sometimes the process is driven by the watch captains electing one of their number to take an overall command, while on other occasions, an Inquisitor of the Ordo Xenos may make the appointment, which must be ratified by the watch captains of the watch fortress or some other watch commander. And in a handful of cases, a watchmaster has actually joined the ranks of the Inquisition, appointing his replacement before he leaves the watch fortress. Regardless of how they gain their position, the Masters of the Vigil are heroes even amongst the highest echelons of the Adeptus Astartes, for these men have been tested against 100 species of aliens and emerged triumphant. They have such intense charisma and ability that within the Death Watch, their word is law. Watch commanders don't win such respect through rousing rhetoric and generous gestures. They are typically curt of speech and fierce of temperament. They don't put up with any incompetence. Their mission is to ensure the survival of the human species, and they don't take this lightly. Even the High Lords of Terra have been known to seek their counsel, for in the business of laying low the alien, the Watchmasters are without equal. Watchmasters hold a position of great authority and responsibility, for they have access to records and archives otherwise only available to senior members of the Inquisition. They have the full knowledge of the terrible threats they guard against, knowledge that in most cases is only ever imparted to those who the highest echelons of the Inquisition hold in great trust. They have the ear of the Inquisition and the Space Marines both, and on their authority, entire sectors may burn. On a strategic level, the Watchmasters work ceaselessly to outwit and outmaneuver the warlords of alien races, to stymie invasions before they occur, to bring ascendant dynasties to their knees, and to wipe out parasitic species that would otherwise infest great swaths of imperial space. It speaks to their quality that they can actually achieve such goals in practice. Knowledge is power after all, and they use it well. When Watchmasters go to war, they are equipped in the finest imperial war tech. The artifacts they bear are so precious they would make a tech magos weep oily tears of envy. Just as the heroes of the ancient legends were once given the keys to the city, the Watchmaster is given the key to humanity's domains, the Clavis, a wrist-worn repository of a machine spirit from the dark age of technology. It could open any door, and in theory, take control of any imperial machine. Watchmasters are also clad in precious masterpieces of the artificer's art, each a formidable and ornate suit of armor which incorporates an iron halo, a device which projects around its wearer a field of protective energy, They also carry the fabled Guardian Spear, symbolic of their role as sentinels. This is a sign of great trust, for it is the same weapon carried by the Emperor's personal warrior elite, the Custodian Guard, yet modified to fire a signature bolt shell of the Death Watch. When a Watchmaster joins the fight on the front lines, he cuts down his foes with a cold precision that leaves monsters and tyrants slain in their wake. Although the burden a Watchmaster must take is heavier than most Space Marines, he serves the Long Watch knowing that every action he takes will send ripples throughout history and almost always for the betterment of humanity. Now let's move on to another one of my favorite units within the Death Watch, the Death Watch Kill Marine. It requires a particular mindset and a view of the galaxy to become a successful Kill Marine. A certain independence of thought and great strength of spirit are in many ways more important than the possession of exceptional stealth skills. A Kill Marine must possess the right temperament and the mental discipline and fortitude to operate for long periods of time cut off from his own kind and from the sacred touchstones of his chapter. Yet at the same time, the Kill Marine must demonstrate a certain openness of mind and aptitude to collaborate with non-Astarte personnel he will invariably encounter in solo missions. Even amongst the exceptional warriors of the Death Watch, such uniquely qualified Space Marines are few and far between. Most Space Marines live a cloistered existence in their fortress monastery. Their contact with the outside world is normally limited to fighting wars in it, and their interaction with mortal humans only comes in the chance encounters on the battlefield. By contrast, a Kill Marine has to interact frequently with the existing authorities and the power structure of the Imperium, often acting as a direct representative of the Death Watch before a planetary governor or war council or a ruling body of the Adepta. Kill Marines live alongside those that they must ultimately defend, sharing their trials and seeing the world through their mortal eyes. During their missions, a Kill Marine will make allies and enemies of many that they meet, and hear tales that would never reach a Watch fortress. He might become involved in events that ultimately have little to do with the Death Watch directly, but rebound to the greater security of the Imperium. In this way, the Kill Team becomes a slender connection between the Death Watch and the great masses it is charged to protect, even as they stand vigil in the darkest gulf surrounding mankind. In the most practical terms, the greatest challenge a Kill Marine must take is to secure travel between the stars. Most Death Watch vessels can rarely be spared for the direct deployment of a Kill Marine. Interstellar starships are such rare and precious things in the Imperium of Man that even the word of a Space Marine will not turn one from its course. The Kill Marine must find a way around this. The more militant Battle Brothers have sometimes opted to capture a pirate vessel and forcing the crew to do its will, exterminating the unwilling host once they reach their journey's end. And of course, there are many less drastic opportunities that exist for a Kill Marine who is prepared to think more broadly. He might travel aboard an Imperial Navy warship or a rogue trader vessel. He might join the retinue of an Inquisitor for a time if it serves his purpose. And to do this, the Kill Marine must use his natural humility to ask and not demand his passage by offering his martial assistance in trade for reaching a destination. Imperial authorities will usually welcome the opportunity to gain access to the knowledge and experience of a Space Marine. The singular skills a Kill Marine can bring to bear are liable to open whole realms of possibilities that were previously out of range for a rogue trader captain or an Inquisitor. A previously unknown and potent player entering the great game of Imperial politics can be invaluable to their schemes, and the guarantee of transportation to an undisclosed location that the Kill Marine may ask for is a small price to pay to secure this type of help. More cynical commentators have noted that the portrayal of a Kill Marine as some kind of diplomatic emissary is disingenuous at best and an outright lie at worst. A Kill Marine is still just a Space Marine, a superhumanly fast and strong warrior trained in the very highest arts of war. Some accuse Kill Marines of being spies and assassins operating at the behest of some Watch commander, independent and unregulated agents of a shadowy organization with a reputation for exterminating entire worlds. In fact, the coming of a Kill Marine may be treated with great alarm by some, an unsubtle reminder that the harbingers of death are near. And some Kill Marines do often forego power armor and use non-standard weaponry for somewhat stealthier demeanors than a bolter and a chainsword. They maintain that this practice is born out of practicality, when they are commonly moving through environments designed for an unarmored man, and the employing of more easily concealed weaponry only serves to soften their otherwise intimidating and warlike aspects. And it is expected that such perilous warriors would adapt to their circumstances by honing into their stealth and unarmored combat skills to such exceptional levels that they can slay quickly and quietly in case of trouble. Such paranoid accusations may have some root in reality. At times, kill marines have turned on those apparently giving them aid, even slaying entire noble households in order to uncover some corruption in their ranks. How often this event is rooted in coincidence and spontaneous action as opposed to the carefully considered orders of their watch commander is impossible to say. And it is also true that kill marines are often sent on missions obscured to their battle brothers in the Death Watch, even to themselves. The Librarium and the Apothecarion can layer mental blocks and hypno-conditionings into a Space Marine's mind, in order to transform it into a receptacle for the most sensitive of knowledge. Secret orders or communications that a watch captain will not entrust on an astropathic communication call. They may be buried deep in the kill marine's subconscious in order to transport it to another watch fortress. A kill marine may also knowingly or unknowingly carry relics or other items of key importance to deliver to the hands of a specific individual. They may be assigned to guard an individual while at the same time have pre-programmed assassination protocols in place to eliminate them if the call arises. Some even whisper that these enigmatic figures have even dealt directly with aliens, a feat that would surely require extreme hypno-indoctrination for a Death Watch Space Marine to achieve. Now, there are many benefits a kill marine has over his battle brothers. For example, because he seldom fights alongside other Space Marines, and instead works with more powerful members of the Imperium, such as rogue traders, techmagos, and inquisitors, a kill marine develops a unique combat technique that utilizes the resources of his allies, whether that be items given to him from an inquisitor or a tech priest. And the knowledge of a war zone is amplified when the kill marine cannot rely on the full destructive powers of an entire Space Marine kill team. In reality, the life of a kill marine is truly one of a kind compared to most Adeptus Astartes warriors. Now let's take a small little break from talking about the foot soldiers of the Death Watch and get into the Corvus Blackstar. The war hangars of the Death Watch are filled with every kind of aircraft ever sanctioned for the Adeptus Astartes. One of its most famous is an air-to-ground attack aircraft and dropship known as the Corvus Blackstar. The Corvus Blackstar is truly a sleek and deadly aircraft that is much prized by all the watch fortresses across the galaxy. Like a knife slipping in between the ribs of a colossus, the Blackstar penetrates the outer defenses of an alien host to strike directly at its heart. Though small enough to slip through the sensor grids of Musino strongholds, its weapon systems are highly advanced, allowing the Blackstar to have a devastating impact for a craft of its size. However, such is the Corvus Blackstar's quality that it is used exclusively in kill team missions that involve air-to-ground engagements. Primarily, it fulfills the role of transport, combining the hurtling speed of a drop pod with the maneuverability of a Storm Talon gunship and the offensive capabilities of a far larger aircraft. Propelled by vectored engines mounted into the wing and behind the airframe, the Blackstar is nimble enough to dart through the winding canyons and elegant star spires of the craft world, or even the gut of a Tyranid hive ship, in order to bring a surgical strike to the enemy's heart. Once in position, it changes from a fighter craft to a hover vehicle with a simple twist of the engines. Its front-mounted doors yawn open with a hiss of pistons so that the Death Watch operatives inside can simply leap out and charge directly into the fight. The pilot of each Blackstar is a veteran tech marine who has earned the right to pilot it over long and arduous years of schooling. The pilot uses the same machine each time, and so intense is its training that the tech marine's indomitable will and that of the aircraft's machine spirit become interlinked. This allows the pilot to pull off aerial maneuvers so spectacular he can leave all but the pilots of the unnaturally skilled Eldar floundering in his wake. The Corvus Blackstar's first priority is often to secure aerial supremacy. To ensure that its kill team reaches the fray intact, the Blackstar will plummet through low orbit to fall upon an aircraft or a winged bioform of the enemy like a raptor diving into a flock of prey. Once on the tail of its victim, it will shoot down the enemy aircraft it judges to be the greatest threat. While many Blackstars mount twin-linked assault cannons, some bear a prow-mounted las cannon array, able to channel the penetrating powers of the Godhammer pattern cannon to destroy heavily armored targets. Many of these craft carry a Blackstar rocket launcher under their wings, equipped with a profusion of missiles. This allows the pilot to choose any air-to-ground warhead that turns swaths of xeno-infested grounds into flesh-melting puddles, or Corvid rockets, whose spiteful machine spirit seeks and destroys enemy aircraft so that their master might rule the skies alone. At a single thought impulse from a tech marine pilot, these prow and wing-mounted weapons can be calibrated for a strafing run. In such circumstances, auxiliary grenade launchers mounted at the rear enable the aircraft to rain down a hail of explosive projectiles, either Infernus grenades that detonate in clouds of burning promethium, or frag grenade charges that hurl deadly shrapnel over a wide area. A full squadron of Blackstars can clear a beachhead amongst a Tyranid swarm in a matter of moments before their passengers descend to deliver the killing blow. The Blackstar has advanced systems to ensure its survival from the inevitable reprisal. Its robust construction can shrug off even a direct hit from enemy flak, and when fitted with an Inferno Halo launcher, it becomes extremely difficult to land a telling blow. Should an enemy missile, a drone warhead, or similar explosive devices close in on the Blackstar, high-caliber Auspector arrays will detect its aura of hostility and send a wide spread of decoys, interceptors, and flares to thwart the incoming munitions. It appears as if the Blackstar spreads wings of smoke and fire behind it, a sight known to the chapter's warriors as the Wings of the Sky Angel. Many of primitive cultures that have seen the Blackstar interpret this as a good omen and worship it for generations thereafter. There is a common formation used by the Death Watch known as the Corvus Dropship Wing. It comprises of 3 Corvus Blackstars. In this formation, they enter combat and better hunt down the enemy's aerial assets, like fighter craft and winged bioterrors. When their nose-mounted las cannons and assault cannons open fire, every shot is calibrated to cause maximum destruction, striking the heart, the cockpit, or the ammunition supply of the enemy to send their remains spiraling down to the ravaged warscape below. With the skies clear, the Blackstars glide into a designated drop zone to disengorge their kill teams inside, clinching the Death Watch control over the battlefield. Let's take a break from talking about the units and talk about one of the most badass stations for the Death Watch, the Death Watch station Arcus. Hidden within the turbulent gas clouds of one of Arcus' system's outermost planets stands a single circular void station known as Station Arcus. Set in place thousands of Terran years before the Aculus Crusade, tens of thousands of personnel have manned Watch Station Arcus since its founding, each and every one adhering to the duties given to them by their Adeptus Astartes masters. Their command has always been the same: be ever vigilant. Appearing roughly like a pinwheel of black iron, Arcus is concealed by cunning design and arcane technology, which has allowed it to remain unnoticed for its long watch over the rimward edge of the Jericho Reach. The fortress is a vital protector of the Tuum Transitional Nexus, a region of space where 3 distinct stable routes within the warp intersect, making this region crucial for galactic control of the eastern fringe of the galaxy. Thousands of troops, fleets, and resources rely on this nexus for swift and reliable travel. As such, Station Arcus plays a very important role in the region. Because of its secrecy, very few agents are required to maintain the Watch Fortress. The Watch Station is only crewed by a handful of tech priests, a pair of mortal Death Watch serfs, and a single astropath. The station is equipped with some of the most accurate and sensitive auger arrays the Adeptus Mechanicus can provide. It is rumored that the entire station was constructed above Mars itself. Since its founding, Arcus has been a rallying point for numerous kill teams, but few have stayed within the station for more than a few solar hours before departing, either heading towards a vital mission or returning from one before heading back to Watch Fortress Arioch. Each time they have departed bearing a precious crystalline data coil. It contains the Watch Station's augury logs and a transcript of the astropath's autosenses. It is to be analyzed at length by the Lex Mechanics and the Librarian Station on Arioch. In recent years, Watch Station Arcus has been overseen by Emil Varas, a skilled and experienced astropath. He was oath-bound to the Death Watch service for more than 2 solar decades. Strong-willed enough to endure the burnout that plagues many of his kind, Varas is nonetheless entirely blind and deaf, and his flesh numbed from the mind-searing effects of the soul binding, his senses deteriorating over the years as his psychic powers have increased. A quiet and proud man, Varas has a particular talent for prophecy. His psychic senses are keen even if his mortal ones are almost entirely gone. He turned his talents to gaze upon the furthest edge of the Jericho Reach. He is unsettled by the many omens that dominate his visions. Varus's visions were sadly accurate, foretelling of a great and hungry darkness beyond the rimward edge of the galaxy which has descended to cloud his sight. Defiant of the shadow in the warp, Varus has persisted in attempting to cast his psychic gaze upon the void and attempt to send a new message out to anyone that would hear it. Amidst this, however, has come a new complication. The last few solar months have brought increasing numbers of vessels to the Arcus system, as Imperial Navy patrols have withdrawn from the ferociousness of the Tyranid advance and regrouped in the otherwise lifeless system. The forces gathered in the Arcus system are oblivious to the Death Watch, and muster for a renewed offensive against the Tyranids as soon as contact can be made with their command. Although it may seem like the small Watch Station can do little to stop the Tyranids' rampage in the eastern fringe of the galaxy, Watch Station Arcus has become a crucial hub for data collecting. Plotting the movements of the fleets and their tendrils is vital to formulating a proper defense against the Great Devourer. By warning the neighboring systems of the exact location of a Tyranid hive fleet, the system can then concentrate its defenses on the very spot the tendril will enter. While this doesn't guarantee success, it does construct a blueprint for coordinating counterattacks and evacuation protocols, saving millions of Imperial citizens, but more importantly, preventing the hive ships the precious biomass they crave. Should the watch station fall, the entire sector would be completely shut off and left to guess when the Tyranids would arrive. It's also very important for the station to maintain vigil over the entirety of the system. Although the focal point of their concern is the Tyranids, the Imperial agents manning Watch Station Arcus must stay vigil of all the newcomers. Xeno raiders and corsairs could take advantage of the confusion and establish a foothold on one of the neighboring star systems or even a planet in the Arcus system itself. Or even worse, traitors or separatists fleeing from the Tyranids could be lurking within these new fleets. While the data collecting on the Great Devourer will continue, great care is being taken to collect data on all the newcomers, registering ship routes and location. The station must always be aware of the enemy from within. Found within the vaults of the Watch Station are relics left behind by some of the Space Marine warriors of past. They can prove useful against the Tyranid forces, such as the Omnissiah's Gaze, an aspect of unmatched awareness, its machine spirit able to perceive more clearly than any device of its kind, or the Hollowed Razor, a master-crafted power axe that was the personal weapon of Champion Hadric, or the master-crafted meltagun known as the Forge Heart, a weapon crafted by Salamander Rakhem almost a Terran century ago. It's renowned for its ability to sear through steel, just as it would flesh and bone. And the last piece of lore is multiple heroes of the Death Watch. Let's get into those. Let's begin with the tale of Watch Captain Caio Vibius, who had already possessed a notorious hatred for the Xeno and a litany of honors given to him by his chapter long before his service in the Death Watch. Caio was a proud warrior of the Marines Errant Space Marine chapter, a chapter that was designed to repair a power vacuum created after the Age of Apostasy and the Cursed Founding. This placed the entire chapter on a continuous crusade all across the galaxy, and it was during the Coronith Crusade that Caio's unit was ambushed and captured by a Dark Eldar raiding force. The Drukhari pirates took the Space Marines into the Dark Realm of Kamara, where they were stripped of their power armor and weapons and forced to do battle in the savage gladiatorial arenas of the Dark City. As Space Marine gladiators, Caio and his battle brothers fought the toughest Xeno beasts and slaves that the Dark Eldar could gather. When that wasn't enough, the Drukhari witches dove into the arena to pick at the wounded Space Marines. This brutal torture caused the death of many of Caio's brothers, but every fallen Marine simply stoked the fire of rage and hatred burning in his heart. Eventually, the Dark Eldars found newer playthings to occupy their time, and Caio seized this opportunity to organize his fellow captives and launch a small but very determined slave uprising. This caught the Drukhari by surprise, and the slaves fought their way to freedom. Caio and the surviving Marines Errants managed to return to the Imperium and their chapter. This heroic accomplishment elevated Caio Vibius to the honored rank of Dark Void Elite, a special position given only to the veteran heroes of the chapter. It was then decided that he would represent the chapter in the Death Watch, a role that would help Vibius express his newfound hatred for the Xeno. Vibius fought under the command of Watch Captain Braun of the Dark Suns chapter, a veteran commander who quickly realized Vibius' talent as a leader. It was not long before the Marines Errant battle brother was leading his own kill team. When Braun was mortally wounded during the confrontation with the Slot Overseer in the Black Reef, he recommended that Vibius be promoted to the rank of Watch Captain, a role that he has held since. Outside of the Watch Captain's control, the Marines Errant have sworn ancient oaths that link them closely to the rogue trader House of Akeo, and it is known that Vibius has taken advantage of these links during his career in the Death Watch. From time to time, void ships bearing the heraldry of rogue trader Akeo have docked at watch stations throughout the Akara Salient. These void ships possess the correct inquisitorial codes to gain access to the stations, and it is said that many times Vibius went aboard to confer with the vessel's mysterious passengers. There are few that know any further details about the links between the Watch Captain and the Rogue Trader, but many Death Watch operations put into motion by Vibius after one of these meetings have been uncommonly successful. Nevertheless, Vibius has personally led a number of kill teams into battle against the Xeno and the Heretic alike. There are many in the Death Watch of the Jericho Reach who consider him uncommonly reckless and aggressive, particularly towards the corrupted soldiers of Cult General Alex Sarda. Some whisper that Vibius' unusual zeal is merely disguised pragmatism, that Vibius believes the sooner the threat of the Stigmatis is eliminated, the sooner the Watch Captain can resume his own quest for revenge against the Drukhari in the region. To this day, Watch Captain Vibius continues to add glorious victories in the name of the Death Watch, and has become the embodiment of the alien hunting rage that exemplifies the chapter. Now we move on to another living legend of the Death Watch, Watch Captain Esteban de Dominova, a battle brother whose past is a complete mystery. He was second to the Death Watch by his chapter the Crimson Fist long ago. A quiet and straightforward man, Esteban is recognized by everyone taking vigil in the Jericho Reach as an almost divine apothecary, capable of resurrecting warriors that would otherwise be lost in battle. Countless battle brothers owe their limbs to this almost mythical healer, whose medical skills and finely honed surgical abilities border on the unnatural. He also has a strange affinity towards xenobiology. His understanding of the non-human form surpasses even most within the Ordo Xenos of the Inquisition and some within the Adeptus Mechanicus Magi Biologists. The pale-faced warrior rose to become a watch captain, and now serves as a fabled guide for many kill teams within the region. Some go to De Dominova for medical assistance, either to be taught a particular surgical art or for some physical care. Others seek out the watch captain to discuss specific xeno species that might be encountered in an upcoming trial. Each and every battle brother that meets with him describes the Space Marine as stoic to the point of robotic. His colorless eyes and piercing glare probe their minds. He is incredibly reserved to newcomers, but once rapport has been established, it is revealed that he is pious and a passionate warrior. Knowledgeable on many subjects, fluent in dozens of languages, and possesses a very dry wit. Esteban de Dominova is an example of what happens to the legendary warriors who choose to take up multiple vigils, and they dedicate their lives to their newfound work. And now we move on to the very unique watch captain Artemis. Artemis had an uncanny ability to sense and recognize alien incursions and influence on Imperial individuals and locations. He was originally a battle brother of the Mortifactors chapter, but was brought into the Death Watch to put his unusual abilities to use. Artemis commanded several Death Watch kill teams against the xeno species known as the K-Nib in the Dornian sector. The species actually dated back to the War in Heaven. This was done at the request of the Imperial Guard's Castellan Regiment. Artemis personally slew the K-Nib leader and ended their attack upon Imperial space. Even though the credit was given to the Castellan Regiment, he was quoted as saying, "Do not ask why kill the alien, rather ask why not." Currently, the true whereabouts of Watch Captain Artemis is a mystery. The last known record is getting an augmented eye and an augmented arm after being attacked by Tyranids in one of the Watch fortresses. His true whereabouts right now are completely unknown. And that's the lore on the Death Watch. I hope this helped you guys paint, build, do whatever it is that you had to do. Like I said, expect more compilation videos in the future that are going to be longer because you guys have been requesting that. And also more Tausember lore videos. Tausember is not over. It's just, I've been a little busy because of the holiday season. So expect new Tau lore videos probably tomorrow or the next day. Thank you guys so much for listening, and we'll talk tomorrow. This was Gersh1 with One Mind Syndicate, signing out.
Always used to put my freedom first.